Today we're going to dig into some of the nitty-gritty of essay writing by looking at how students properly embed quoted materials. So this is mostly for literary analysis writing, although I can imagine if you wanted to integrate quotes into a research or argument paper, many of the same lessons will apply. The example that I'm going to share with you is more literary analysis based, if that's useful to you. But again, you can expand this treatment to all kinds of writing modes. So what I have here for you is a little slice of To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm going to read it to you. If you don't know the story, Scout, we're in the South, we're in Alabama, famous father, Atticus Finch, civil rights leader, seeker of social justice. He's awesome. All right. But anyway, this little tiny slice jumped out at me as a writer. And so I want to maybe do something with it in my literary analysis paper about her dad, Atticus Finch. Okay. So the passage I like. Next morning I awoke, looked out the window, and nearly died of fright. My screams brought Atticus from his bathroom half-shaven. The world's ending, Atticus. Please do something. I dragged him to the window and pointed. No, it's not, he said. It's snowing. All right, so there's our little passage. Now let's say I like this because it shows that Scout, Atticus's daughter, really leans on her dad to sort of understand the world. And when she's scared of something, he's more logical and level-headed about it. Like, I like that kind of moment. All right, so this is the passage we want to use. Now, what I often find is that kids in their essays, they will frame the quote, or what we call embed the quote, in a really basic, almost robotic way. So I can't tell you how many times I get body paragraphs with quote frames that look like this. As author Harper Lee shows the heroic side of Atticus, she uses this quote. Next morning I awoke, looked out the window, and nearly died of fright. My screams brought Atticus from his bathroom half-shaven. Nope. That is so clunky and mechanical. There's no writing style that's happening in the lead into that quote. It's almost like you're just like with a spoon, like scooping the quote out of the book and slapping it all sloppy cafeteria lady style into your essay's body paragraph. So instead, I have a different model for you. I want you to see if you can kind of feel the difference. So same idea, but this one has an embedded quote, like the frame is full there. So, although his children see Atticus as a man of intellect rather than action, the reader realizes Atticus has a clear instinct to physically defend those in peril when his young daughter Scout panics at her first ever sighting of snow and her, quote, screams brought Atticus from his bathroom half-shaven. I don't know if you can tell, but I've boiled down the quote. Like, you want to use just the barest minimum of the quote. I know a student's essay is in trouble when I turn the page and half of a paragraph is quoted material from the book. That means they're just throwing quotes at me, hoping I find something that I like in there instead of actually, like a surgeon with a scalpel, just slicing out the real essence of the quote that they want to analyze. And also, there's some analysis happening in the frame of this second quote here, which is delightful. All right, let's try it again. Same quote. Here's another example of how somebody might frame it. A quote from the novel shows Scout's surprise. She says, next morning I awoke, looked out the window, and nearly died of fright. My screams brought Atticus from his bathroom half-shaved. Also, we have again a quote from the novel shows Scout's surprise. Don't say it's a quote. Don't say this quote from the novel. Paint the picture. Set up the scene. So I'm going to say, nope, that's a sloppy robotic frame. Instead, Scout goes on to explain that she, quote, nearly died of fright when she saw a blanket of snow outside her bedroom window, and her screams brought Atticus from his bathroom half-shaven. And then the next sentence is where you can analyze that moment. Like, maybe you even want to connect this small, seemingly, like meaningless moment, on a snowy morning in Alabama, because it doesn't snow very much, to the fact that Atticus is the one to remain level-headed in what appears to be disastrous circumstances. And then when we get into the trial of Tom Robinson, we can have that played out as a more, concrete example of that. But even these small moments you can connect to the bigger theme of what your paper is about. But I really want you to stop getting away from mechanical frames when you could use all kinds of descriptors to help explain. So I have here, you might want to do a screenshot of this, a list of verbs that help lead you into strong framing versus just, the author uses the following quote. Oh my gosh, make it stop. All right, I hope this inspires you to think about how you're using quotes in your paper. They are small drops of evidence to support your larger message. They are not the bulk of your paper. Always, always, I also put a note down there. You're going to refer to authors and the works of literature, the quotes, the sources in present tense, because literature is always alive. Every time you open up that book, there is Scout and her older brother Jim waiting to have their adventures with Dill. If this is useful to you, I have lots more information. I'll put a link below. I have more materials on embedding quotes as a product in my shop. And then I also have other videos where we've talked about citations. Basically, if you're enjoying the series, give me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back again next Friday with another drop of High School English Skill Builder here on the YouTube channel. And then Mondays, I always have Mechanics Usage Grammar. So next time I see you will be on Monday. We'll do a little more mugshot practice. All right, I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.